just.
There's no image. It's fine.
Okay, it's good. Perfect. Let's start then, guys. It's sometimes like that.
Do like a sound so I show your face now.
Okay, boom, like this. Was it good? All right, guys. Sometimes we are so inside a conversation together that we forget that we have a live. And so we were discussing a few technical things with Emanuele. By the way, welcome back. It has been a long
Thank
time.
you.
I
Thank
think
you.
like it was 6 months ago that we saw each other here.
Yes, I think we did once a session without you during
Yeah,
Christmas.
yes, with Armin.
With Armin, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been
It's been a long time.
Exactly.
So we have another technical session today. We are going to
Exactly.
discover a few things that we already talked about on LinkedIn. So I think we can already start. As
Okay.
usual, people can ask any question. I will stop you if I see something that okay, we can have a little break in our explanation. And we are going to start with populate and performances.
Exactly, yes,
Yeah?
because a couple of months ago, during the partner day, there was a partner from Serbia, if I'm not mistaken, that asked me some performance questions. And they asked me how does Odoo behave with like let's say huge amount of data. How can I simulate that scenario? And so first thing that came to my mind was to like write a server action to do that, but maybe that's not the best way, because actually we have something built in Odoo in the command line interface, which is called populate, which is again like the screen is still small, so it takes me a little while. But populate is a command, is an option that you can pass to the Odoo bin command that will allow you to create records in some specific models, and where you can specify the number of records or the factors of records that should be created. It got also changed in version until version 17, if I'm not mistaken. There used to be populate factories where you could decide differently how the records were created, but since 18 they are slightly different. And the command is pretty simple. I will run it here. So I wait, because I don't remember it completely, so I need to use this one, and then we can check it. So let me stop.
I already have one question on my side. Can I bother you?
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about this in terms of it's only used for performance, or it's also used because you want sometimes demo. Perfect.
Demo.
So if I want to create, for example, cell orders and then cell order lines, is Odoo capable of putting in random cell order lines in existing cell orders? Those kind of things.
We can also test. For example, here I will zoom in because it's a little bit too small. But here and then we will see the command once I run it.
Okay.
But basically here I'm specifying the number of records that should be created. Let's start with something small, 100, and then you specify which models should be populated. So here I'm saying create account moves and res partner. As a consequence of creating account moves, Odoo will also create account move lines.
Okay.
So
how do you know? Is it somewhere, or we just have to take
it's somewhere. We need to find it, but we can.
But we trust you so far. So
we trust me so far, but we can also look it up. I think if I put it here, let's put a breakpoint there, so that we can see what's going on. Let's see if I didn't make any mistake. No such option factors. That's fun. Let's see.
On my side, while you do that, I see already first two questions. One is completely functional, so I'm not sure we'll have the time to do it. But I'm taking note of this one at the same time. What you see is Emanuele's screen. Mine, I'm on my side and having a look at the question related to the beverage industry. I'm creating a database, and I will see if I can make something that makes sense quickly. That then we can show by me sending my the credentials and the database to Emanuele. But otherwise, it would be for next week, and then I will come completely prepared with that. No worries. But yeah, sorry.
Okay. So here we are. I made a mistake in the order of the commands to run, but you see now that I have the debugger open. You don't have to worry about that. The most important part is these lines. I think I can zoom in a little bit more so that everybody can see. But here I am saying, it's a little bit unreadable now, but I'm using Odoo bin, specifying populate, the name of the database, Odoo Insider, because that's what we're doing. Configuration, not relevant. And then here it is, factors 100, and then the models that I want to populate.
Okay.
Then you see that at some point during the run of the populate command,
yes,
I will reach the populate model that says what models we need to populate. And you can find it like account move factors 100. And then throughout the code, it will start creating records. We can just move forward. Let's see. Okay, I think we are already done.
Okay.
It was quite quick.
When did it start? It's at the moment where you said.
When we stopped in the populate and then I clicked start, it was I continue running the operation. It did it because it did it through SQL.
Okay.
We don't go through the ORM of Odoo.
Okay.
So it was very fast, and as also the factor was very small. We can maybe put something bigger to see.
So here, because you did it, and then to me it was like a surprise. Like, okay, it's already done.
Honestly, same for me. I didn't expect it to be quick.
I see. The audio thing.
Wait, okay. All right, let me try to do it again. Yep.
So a bit longer now.
Yeah, it should take a little bit longer. I don't know how long, but it should take. So it's populating.
Yes,
this is with 10,000 records, and it should soon be over.
And that is done through SQL, as you said, not
exactly.
Okay.
This is like a good feature to test more the performances of the system with lots of records after you run the populate, then to see how long does it take for Odoo to create account moves, to confirm stuff. That's not the purpose of the...
Yes, so what you are explaining is that the goal of this one is not to test the time it takes to populate.
Exactly.
It's after that.
Exactly.
Because I was going to say, what's the point of bypassing the ORM if what you want to test is also a lot of creation of items? But maybe you mean that wouldn't make any sense, since usually they are created like not in just one big batch also.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. If we needed to test like the creation of 1,000 records, and maybe that's the slow part, I would actually write a server action and pass through ORM to simulate something real. Do we want to maybe answer some questions?
I'm astonished now, because then it's the opposite. It's taking maybe a bit longer.
I don't know if that's because I might have broken it while my computer was taking my voice. It could be.
Well, it seems all right at the moment. Or at least you don't have any
trace
and no errors.
Yeah, but it's not even responding to my comments.
Yes, okay, that's why. Do you have? But that's
okay.
That's a good one. So here, if you want to know, so you restart it and we have to retry with a smaller number?
We can try. I just wanted to see. Okay, still blocked. Let me put maybe, because I don't remember exactly, because the factor is not the number of records. It's like a factor. So it could be maybe that 1,000 could be like 1 million.
Millions of, okay. So how can you know, give or take, the factor that you need to aim at?
That's a good question, because if I'm not mistaken, when I did it with the partner at the partner day, we used something like a factor of 10,000 to create 1 million or 6 million account moves.
Okay.
Something like that. I don't know exactly. I don't remember exactly the
so potentially here the 10,000 that you had it was creating already millions of records.
Exactly. Okay. So actually, maybe as we already did the 10,000, I hope that the transaction is rolled back. Let me close it. I hope that nothing is running. Let's see with the first version how many records Odoo created, and then we can. We can see the type of records, because maybe they're not super realistic, because they are you will not have the Mark Demo, Michelada,
yes.
They are, you see, they are like Brandon Freeman 12.
Okay, you have 3
and
almost 4,000. Okay,
exactly,
with 100.
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe some other records were committed once we did it, but might not be the case. So
you can imagine that it is from the first call that it was done.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, let me show maybe the accountant app to see more stuff.
Yep.
Might take a little while, but you will see that we created lots of records. And for example, now that I created the 4,000 partners, I could try to look for a partner. How long does it take? Are my indexes okay? When I look for a specific record using a field in the account move, is it fast? Is it slow? Or what can I do to improve it? This is the type of things that you can do.
I see already a question that is related to what we're explaining right now from Stefan on Twitch, that is saying, okay, but apparently it's based on existing data that we have in the demo data. So if I'm creating a new model and I would like to have the same kind of feature for my new model, Odoo wouldn't be prepared for that? Or
I guess that you can, we could try, because I think we have the product brand, that's a model that we
yes, like yes, I remember.
We can try to do it. And because I don't think that we have demo data for that model.
I don't think so. We can check.
We can check with that, and we try to run it. So
excellent.
We can think it's easier, because honestly, something that I didn't run multiple times in my life. So, you know, it's very situational, and but it's pretty useful. It's a niche, but it's pretty useful. So now we run the product brand, and the product brand will create some models linked to the product template, if I'm not mistaken. And do we have some? We have some data. We might remove it. We'll after the creation we can remove it.
But so here, if you have something like test 1, 2, 3,
exactly.
that would mean that it's using it, or
all right. So
okay, let's go. Yeah. Okay.
So this is deleted. The record doesn't exist anymore. And now let's go back and say that we run the populate command, factor 100, and the model will not be account move or REST partner, but it will be product brand. So let's see. Let me comment this one out. Okay, it created the records. Let's see what we got. So now, when we will refresh, okay, system is dead.
On my side, I'm having a look at the functional question, see if I can already answer. I have a few items here.
Oh, wait. I was still running the populate command.
You had to...
Yeah, I didn't comment a line. Okay, now it should be okay. Okay, so now we have the product brand, and let's see how it behaves. It's taking a little bit of time today. Computer doesn't want to collaborate with me.
So the kind of thing is, anyway, here it's true that we are running on laptops, so we cannot expect the same performances as the one we have on our servers. But sometimes maybe this one, for example, you are astonished that it's taking sometimes too much time even on your laptop?
Yes, right? Exactly.
It looks like, okay, there's...
Yeah, but I mean, my computer has been acting not too good today. So let's see. Could be... Okay, now the registry has been loaded. Generate a routing map for key none. We can see where is it stopping. I mean, the good thing about being live is that you can also try to investigate issues.
Yes, it happens all the time on my side. And when I don't know, and I'm not too afraid, I'm having a look at the things that people ask me. And from time to time, I'm like, I have no idea on how to start even this. But it's part of the deal. It's trying to find and to see how we debug that. It's even good in terms of the value, because people will have the same kind of issues. Like, okay, I don't know where to start, how to investigate, what could be the issue that we have, and
Now I'm trying to understand if there's like another something running.
But I like the comment that is given by Arthur that is with us in the studio.
Demo gods.
I don't know on which platform it was, but someone is saying demo gods are angry. Yes,
That's
they are very, very angry.
Very angry.
But that's good. It's okay. So
Let me.
I was having a look at the other thing about the beverage industry. For that person that asked it, what you can do is that from odoo.com, if you click on the industries button, I've shown that in the previous Odoo Insider session, I don't remember when. You go there, you click on the industries, and then you select the beverage industry. When you create your database, at the very bottom, you have load with demo data. Check it so that you create a test environment with the beverage industry. And in fact, what I can see, but I didn't do a flow. I was just having a look at the master data. I see that on the product, you link a product like a bottle of beer, for example, with a deposit product, and it has specific taxes as well. Taxes that are not related to a tax grid, so I suppose that it's a trick not to report taxes, but to add a special extra price. So you can already start from there and see what you can do from the POS or from a regular sale, and seeing how it looks like in terms of deposit.
So funny thing is the sessions that were open before on because I couldn't close them properly were blocking Odoo. That was the issue. And even after the populate, we don't have anything. So I guess that the person that said
you need to have
some data, we can try now with Ferrari, and then we put Ferrari was always the example.
Okay. Only Italian brands, of course.
I don't remember. Someone told me that when I come here, I always do examples related to either car brands or my grandma.
Oh, your grandma. Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
I remember the brand thing.
Yeah.
But I've never heard you talking about your grandma.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it.
Is she watching us today?
I hope not, because why isn't she preparing food?
yeah, that is true. Yes.
Bad joke. All right. Okay. Yes. So you need to have some data.
A minimum thing so that it works. Okay.
Actually, we got factor 100. So we got 2 records, and now we have 202.
Okay. Very good. So it depends of how much you have at the beginning.
So I guess
that is cool.
That's why maybe we did 100, and when we did 100,000,
yes,
it was exploding.
10,000 above 3,000. Okay.
Exactly. That's so okay.
Several millions. Yeah, as you said.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
Excellent. So now that we have this, usually the route you go through would be what? We do this to populate and we have fake data that is not the demo data of Odoo, but in numbers that are way more impressive than what Odoo usually does for the demo environment.
Exactly.
And then starting from there, if we were to, let's say, try to find, let's imagine we want to simulate accounting reports with lots of invoices. So to see, okay, how Odoo behaves if I have 1 million of invoices per year.
Yeah.
1 million, then talking about the discussion we had before, I don't know how fast it would be to create them. But that's how we could go further.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. So now we are multiplying the invoices by 10.
Yes.
Just to, maybe could be too much. Because I don't know, I didn't check how many we created before with all the tests. Could take a while. If it takes too long, I will stop it, but we're gonna see. And also you see that just to so it created the records, I think, in the order that I passed. So it first created the products, then the sale order, and then
okay.
And to create them faster, Odoo momentarily remove the indexes, because otherwise every time you create a record, you insert a row in a table, you need to update the indexes.
Okay, yes.
So to speed up the creation, Odoo first removes the indexes, creates the rows, and then rebuilds the indexes.
And when it rebuilds it, how does it create the same kind of index?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it will just drop them, recreate them, and then you're good.
And that's a good question, because it's something that I know let's say, the basic logic of an index. While it's populating, maybe we can discuss about that. I will use that as I make a comparison with a real index that you would have in a real life with paper. So you have, let's say, 26 people, 26 letters in the alphabet, and then you have some saying, okay, if you need to start the search with D, start from there. That's the idea. Okay.
Yes.
Do you need to sometimes recompute the index? You said at the creation of a record, but it's every record we recompute the index, or it's every 10,000, or how does?
It's every time you do an update, even like if you, for example, if I put an index on the name of the account move line, I need to not recompute the full indexes, and I think it's like not a super easy topic because it's very advanced. But but in any case, let's say the cost of an index is that you will have your write operations, your create operation. They will be potentially slower because you need to say, okay, I updated that row, so the index needs to shift something. If you change your name from Antoine to Thibault, the index needs to be updated because there will be one less employee named.
Otherwise, your index is false because things move in terms of order. So, all right. And does it mean that then it's better to have indexes on tables that are very, very big but that are not updated that much, or updated but not on the criteria that compose the index, like updated a lot but not on the name, for example? Name don't change.
That could be good. I mean, generally the idea of the index is really to try to how do you say, to improve some operations that are otherwise slow. So if you need to read a specific model multiple times, you need to do a specific search multiple times on the account move. Even if the account move lines are big models, it's still good to put indexes in there because you use them a lot to read them.
Yes.
If you don't need to read them, you just need to create stuff. You don't need to create indexes most of the time. But yeah.
Does it happen that on your side, working with clients, you realize, okay, there are a few things that are a bit slow and index solves a lot? Okay.
Absolutely. Even like in a completely standard database, it might happen that the usage of the client might be not what Odoo expected. So maybe if Odoo expect to have, let's say, 100 contacts, 10,000 account moves, and 10,000 sell orders, and I don't know, 100,000 stock moves. Maybe they have like a disproportionate number of account moves, and maybe that will not make it as efficient in the operation as Odoo expect, because maybe you don't have that ratio between models that Odoo expects.
All right.
So sometimes you have to
test and see. Okay.
And then most of the time, maybe you just need to put like a simple index. For example, if you need to accounting reports, you have the search done on the, I don't know if that's the case, but on the account of the chart of account of the account move line and the date, maybe you can put an index on those two fields if Odoo doesn't have it in standard.
Okay. Yes, we discussed the question of Stefan about the.
Now we can also see the invoices. I think we will have a lot. Not that much.
No, indeed.
Only 9,000.
Right.
I thought it was more.
It created also regular journal entries, not only invoices.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It's already 10,000. How long did it take on our site? Was like, do you have an idea?
I created also some other stuff. In total, it was 160 seconds.
Okay, so almost 3 minutes.
Yeah, I know it could be faster for sure.
Okay, and we have all in, and inside, my question was, I see we have amounts, so obviously we have also.
It's like 32,000 invoices.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is it. So I guess that's already a bit more impressive in terms of amount of things that you could create. And there are, of course, at least twice as many account move lines.
Exactly, we are 86,000.
Yes, that is it. That is good, so that you can already have a bit of a few things. And if you need to make a bigger query or you want to test bigger numbers, I guess that it doesn't grow linearly. So if we were to here, we have almost, let's imagine we're at 100,000. If we need 1 million, it wouldn't take 10 times more to create. It would go a bit up.
I think it would be, maybe not 10 times, it would be maybe like 11 times.
Yes, okay.
I'm not totally sure about that, but it might take a while. I remember that when I did it at the partner day, we started immediately with like 1 million, like the factor was like 1 million, and it didn't take long because the database was empty.
Okay.
So, or I don't remember how long it took because I was also talking to the partner. So it took maybe like 5 minutes, but we got like a couple of millions. And then what did we create? Sell orders. There we don't have that many. Yeah, we have 264. But here I can, for example, see because it took maybe a little bit of time when I opened the journal entries, and I could potentially say, I go there in the profiling. I activate it for a day. I enable it. Put like a very fast.
Okay.
So then I can load it and see like, okay, I did some operations, I stopped the profiling and check.
So here just you perform one search or something like this?
Just to see, okay, it seemed to have taken a little bit of time. What was the actual time? 0.3 seconds, that's okay. Like it didn't take too long, but this one, I don't know if I can zoom it, but no, I cannot zoom it a lot. But you see that there's a query that took most of the time.
Okay, yes. So that is it. Now that you have it populated, you can profile and check what is taking so much time. Let's say in a case where we are having a slow environment.
Exactly. So I can use it for all these things to see.
Loading the dashboard where we are going to aggregate lots of things. But then it went quite fast. This one, I mean, it was relatively okay. I mean, we didn't have to wait not even 1 second. So good. I'm quickly answering the question of Beltec SA. You say you are able to create deposit. The video promoting the industry have more real-world example than a demo data. I just want to understand how Odoo expects the workflow. That I don't know. I need to check for myself. So keep that one for next week if you can, because then I will have the time and take my screen and show it instead of Emanuele, since today is a tech session. And if you're not there, just let's imagine, because you say, hey, I'm having a look at the live today, but next week I know I won't be there at the live moment. We usually post, at least Arthur does it, we have every time the timestamp now. On LinkedIn I know we have it. On YouTube I'm not sure. I'm going to bother him because he's having a chit chat here in the room. Arthur. I know that's usually when we have a session, a regular one, you take the questions and you put a timestamp and then you put it on LinkedIn.
I sometimes put it.
Yeah. And do you do it on YouTube as well? Or it's only LinkedIn?
When we have time, we also do.
Okay, good.
Chapters, but it's not.
Yeah, I know it's I'm taking it's manual anyway. Okay, we'll try to do that, Beltec, because I understand that this one, if you don't want to, let's say, check yourself the different moments. So for this one next week, if you're not there, I can take care of that. All right. Did we have other questions, like technical ones? Oh, yes. All right. Sorry. Okay, that's good. Vadim is asking us, is it okay or should we update the base module from time to time? Will it delete or reset information if we do it? Already a first.
Yes. So is it okay if we update the module, the base module from time to time?
We do it.
We do it. I would say that as a general approach, it shouldn't happen frequently. But I guess that there's some scenarios. I think that I think sometimes we can update the base module, but we could do something else, because maybe what could happen is that some views, it's not common, but some views might be updated on SAS by a bug fix or something. And as the views are stored in the database, and like you have two versions of the view, one that is stored in the database, the one that is also displayed on the web client, and the one that is in the code. So sometimes these might diverge. It's very uncommon because it shouldn't happen, but it might happen for bug fixes. And sometimes you might have issues because of that, because maybe you need to do some operations. So what you should do maybe is try to find if there is a view that was updated and maybe restore it to the original version. I can do like a quick
Yeah.
example. So for example, I take the Kanban view and I take this one and say field name equal name. I don't know if that will be the case, but so let's say this is a field. I don't have like good example most of the time, so I'm sorry if the people might not be.
What are you looking for in terms of example? Of a field
Like
that
a
changes?
field that, for example, was added, and maybe you have an issue in your code or in your database because of that.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just easier to just come here and say reset to file version.
Okay. Yes.
So that you get the same version as the standard code of Odoo. That could solve some issues.
While you're doing that, should I look for in the code one of the views that we improved over the last weeks?
Yeah, well, I actually because it's not so easy to find it.
Okay.
I created a several actions for a database that I manage for my girlfriend to find this type of issues. And if you wait a second, I will just open up my personal account. So I will just look it up. We'll look for the server action and show it to you.
Okay.
Because it's pretty interesting.
On my side, I'm quickly checking if I can find something that would make me think of a view change somewhere in a regular Odoo 18, because on our side we do update sometimes. Well, I don't know if it's every week or every 2 weeks. Every week on the SAS and Odoo SH. No, Odoo SH is different. It depends on the version that they chose.
Yeah. But this should happen more or less at the same time. But then if you want to be in the...
If you're not on the latest.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So that's also something that you have a bit more control on. When you go on Odoo SH, there's a place where you can say on which revision of Odoo you want to run. I think we have a span of 3 months, so you can...
Yeah, exactly.
And every 3 months at least you need to have... it's not an upgrade, it's an update of your code. And inside there may be, as you waited for 3 months, and maybe we pushed a few fixes, and maybe some of them changed the view. Maybe then when you update and upgrade the base module, a few new views, or existing views, but with a change will be there. I'm thinking about one now in enterprise, because I've seen something quite uncommon of a new module during V18. Yes, I think that's the one. But I'm checking if it brought new views. No, it's only about model and data.
So yeah, for example, I have this small server action
Okay.
that can identify views that differ from their standard code.
Okay.
So, and then, I mean, that doesn't mean that you need to reset it all the time. But for example, I used I found this view. I can go there and say compare and reset. What is the difference?
Okay.
See, like for example, this part was somehow removed by standard.
Okay.
So this is the type of thing that might differ and that might cause issues. So with like a small script, I can add it in the repo.
I was going to tell you.
I can add it in the because we have a repo for that for the Odoo Insider.
Yeah, we need to. Maybe you can show it again because we have new viewers every time, and so we have a repo where Emanuele is kindly putting all the stuff that we do here during the Odoo Insider. So we have the thing about the product brands. So the first module created, there's already all of that.
Yes, we have like the email template change, export images, group spreadsheet. This was to remove the button.
Yes, I remember. Okay,
then
cool. I didn't know we had so many examples.
Print directly, product brand. This one I don't remember, honestly.
Label log message. Can you click just to...
See?
Let's remember that. So 4 months ago, that's... I don't see what it is. 4 months, it was... Like what? It was in January.
Yeah, I think it was maybe just a random example for something else. I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell on my side.
But you know,
that's
you can find plenty of examples. I mean, mine is not the only repo that does it. There's some others. I would like to wait. I will also look it up because if I can do a shout out to a person from the community.
Yeah, sure. Go. They deserve it. So
Yes.
there's no reason.
So let me find it. It was from some time ago. So this,
Yes, you told me. I remember. Yeah.
if you are an Odoo developer and you would like to find some examples, and maybe they change it a little bit, the structure, but you can find here in this repository called Exploring Odoo plenty of examples of how to do things in Odoo. I have it here on my computer. I will just show it quickly, like the installation. It's very, honestly, I like it a lot. It's a very fun repository, especially if people need to start and they don't know what to do, or maybe they don't even know where to start. You can find examples of different things that you can do in Odoo. I will install
Tinkering.
it. Tinkering,
yeah.
like the person that did that repo, like really did examples of almost everything.
Okay.
I know that there's other people that did it. Very interesting.
So, what's the name? It's
you
Yonitio.
can I send it to you, Arthur, and then I don't know if you can put it on
Yeah,
LinkedIn?
sure. I guess so.
I don't know if you want to, or
Yeah, it's a link of a repository that we are using at the moment.
so. And let's see if it actually got installed. But it's pretty interesting because it will install a small module with examples. It's called
Cheats.
cheat.
Okay.
And you can find like how do you create a relation? How do you create views? How do you do like an inline template? And if you, for example,
Look for this or
yeah, look it in the source code, you will find it, and you see how do I do that? How do I do the other thing? And here you can find the examples and you can follow.
I really like that because it's those are quick examples that you can have access to. Spend a few minutes. It's a bit what we do here, showing a few things that are super not easy, but easy when you know.
Yeah.
With quick examples, I like the horizontal accordion. I don't know how you called it, or slider. That's cool. A few things that we don't have in standard. Well, it's not always needed, but I like the fact that people try a few things and
exactly like
okay.
Like it has plenty of
examples.
Exactly, where you can do.
Okay, and from what I see, it's lots of things that are not related to standard view. So is it more like JavaScript front-end oriented, or also?
At least this example, because I installed the cheat module and the cheat web, and so they have examples about that. But then they have like inheritance. I think this is more like to how do you do inheritance in Odoo of models.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's an interesting one.
Okay, excellent. How did you find it?
It was actually an Italian partner that sent it to me on
on
Discord. We were chatting and he said, have you seen this one?
Okay.
And I think his name is Salvatore. He sent it to me. I said, thank you. So it was very, very interesting to see.
Okay.
And there was a question related to the indexes.
Yes. That is good. Arthur was showing this question. It's an addition to the one I was asking. So how does Odoo handle the indexes by default? I guess talking about creation of the standard ones.
Right, exactly. It's important to know that kind of Odoo delegates the maintenance of the indexes to the database. It's not something that Odoo takes care of. The ORM takes care of like saying to the database, create an index, but then the maintenance of the index is done by PostgreSQL. So yeah, it's not at every input, but it's every time you save the data, because when I'm here, and I don't know, like I create my customers. I think I should look for customers. I create a new one.
That's a bit slower.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if I did something before. No.
Do we have something in the code or? Yeah. Okay.
Don't ask, don't tell. So, like, I think that this could be interesting. Why is loading the customers so slow? I would if you want, we can maybe just debug it very quickly to see what's going on.
Yeah, let's go.
First thing, why is it taking so long to find the customers? My idea is that we might have too many customers. So what I would do is just go there in the database and do a select count from REST partner. Oh yes, we have too many. This is taking way too long.
Okay, like it should be.
Yes, this should be almost immediate. Like a select count, most of the time should take like couple of milliseconds.
Okay, can we? If I want, I'm not going to show that because I'm talking about our own database where we have something like between 5 and 10 million REST partners.
I think we have more in
Yes,
this one.
because that select count is what is happening also when you go on when you have more than 10,000 and you go on the counter top right. That is the kind of operation that we'll do.
Oh, actually, it was very little.
we were so
3,000.
we were so hyped, like, okay, we are going to receive a few million REST partners, but there must be something that explains why it is so slow.
Exactly.
That is interesting, but I don't know if we can find the information of why it is slow, because we thought it wouldn't be that slow.
Exactly. So that's very, very weird. We can see if we have some indexes. So this is I'm checking the field definition. We have the index on the primary key, so that is the one that should be used when you do the select.
Oh, can you tell from here? It's the B3 thing,
yeah,
or
this one that says REST primary key B3 on ID.
Okay.
So that should be correct, but that's very, very uncommon, because when I was doing the example with the partner, we had like 8 million records and it was fine. So I don't know if it's just them.
Yeah. Okay. And now? Now it's okay.
No, it's okay. I don't know. Might have had some processes running on my computer. I don't know. It shouldn't be long, anyways. With 4,000.
Yes. Yeah. We can see that there was a huge difference between the first moment you clicked on the customer, then the count that you made, and finally being fast, like here. But again, okay.
There's something that makes it slow.
Yes.
We could.
If you had to, because we maybe don't have the time to investigate the root cause of that being slow, but can you give a few hints on how, if we were in a real case? Yes, always.
Yeah, always. Like for me, it's like it's a cheat code. Like I don't know why. I don't need to think too much. I click on it, takes a little bit of time. Operation is done. Okay.
Okay. So in a way, we can even have a look at it now and see if we find a lead, and if we don't, we drop it. But
I see REST partner name search.
So and that is fun because you only have one operation. Okay.
Exactly, because I activated and I didn't reload or anything.
So it's that SQL query that is taking so long.
REST partner complete name. So what I would do now is take this one. I would like to. Because I would like to take the query.
Okay.
I can maybe do
triple click.
It's very small. I don't know if people can tell it from here, but it's very small, so it's difficult for me to.
I think it's small for them as well. There's no system where you can select the whole line.
I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, but you have every time the quotes in the way.
Yes.
Or
exactly, but we can. No, that's okay. This should be okay. So what I would do is take this one.
Okay, so we take the query that we had in the most important part of the analyze. What's the name? Profiling.
Profiling, yes. Let's save it.
Okay.
Let's maybe format it. Okay, seems to be.
Oh, I love it.
Seems to be okay. And now,
can you tell me, maybe people like you, developers and all, they know all the shortcuts, but so you had a SQL query that was impossible to read, and then it's a small add-on, or it does it by default?
I think by default you have the, this is VS Code, different IDEs have different options, but you have an option called format document, and if you have the specific formatter, it will format the
according to
exactly. If it's SQL, it will format it in a specific way, and other stuff in another way.
Cool. It was fast.
Yes. So this is I would get this query, and then I would use a tool like Dalibo.
Ah, yes.
Explain. Because it's much easier just to use this tool. I would just go there. So I saved now the file.
You are in the Odoo Insider module,
Oh, yeah,
right?
I put it in the wrong one. Should have been like here. Let's see if okay. So now I should find it. Test query SQL. So I would just say test query SQL. That again, this is very, very, very simple test that you can perform. I need to add a line because this is needed by Dalibo. Dalibo is a tool external. There's probably others, but this is just the one that I know. So I perform the query. That's what I'm doing. No such file or directory because it's test and not text.
Okay.
Relation REST partner does not exist, and because I forgot to put the name of the module, the database. Yeah.
Okay.
So it might take a while.
In the meantime, someone is asking how much data is too much data.
Oh,
it depends.
it depends. For me, like this is a very common question, but most of the time I just answer it depends. But it really depends. If you have like 8 million products, you never touch them. There's 10 million products. It's okay. They won't take too much space. If you have 10 million products and you create 100,000, 200,000 stock moves per day, that might take a little while. And so that's when you need to maybe optimize. But it really depends. Like the number of products, for example, by itself doesn't mean much.
In fact, we are able to answer that, but usually people don't even have the information to give to us in order to know if it will it be enough in terms of computer. I'm trying to say it as a noob here. But so the thing is, when I have conversations with clients or partners, say, okay, can you handle 2,000 users? The answer is yes. We already did it in the past. It can be even 10,000 if you want, but it depends how much they use of software, if it's on the same time zone or not. So you have lots of questions to ask to see if it works. So knowing in advance is usually quite hard, even though most of the time it's okay, it is easy. It's just that we need to show you with examples like here where we populate and then we make some searches.
So for example, this is fun because we get the result. It might be difficult to explain, but the query is like this. So we get some fields.
It's the regular. It's just the simple search that we have in the many-to-one field. Okay, that is.
And I guess at some point it's doing a sequential scan. So the sequential scan is basically checking the table row by row. And I think that's what it's taking long, because that's literally what it says. Like it does like 2 sequential scans.
Okay.
So it looks on REST company, on the REST company. No, this is actually good. It's the sorting. Somehow the sorting is incredibly slow.
How could you tell? It's because of the sign that you have here.
Yeah,
that
there was also a nice feature. Like here, it says that this sequential scan is the one that took most of the time. You can also, I think, if you go in the stats, you can see that.
Okay, the milliseconds.
Yeah.
Okay, and there are 8 seconds. And
8 seconds.
Okay.
And 0.258 milliseconds on the REST company. So basically, it's like 0% of the query was spent on that.
Yeah, we see 100% of the time is taken by one thing.
So, yeah, exactly. So
okay.
This one, and then I would just try to investigate the sequential scan. Why is it taking so long? And it might be the filters here that are taking a long time, and it shouldn't. So maybe we're missing some indexes. It might be because before I stopped the populate before it could finish.
Okay.
So probably dropped the indexes and it didn't recreate them as it should have.
Okay.
And this is something that it's my fault, because I shouldn't have stopped the populate.
Do you want to investigate further?
I would say this is okay, because otherwise we might have too much.
we go in the rabbit hole.
But yeah, but this is like the type of modus operandi, I would say, to get to a point.
All right.
Because now I know I need to investigate probably this part.
Okay. All right. There's another question about the industry. I'm feeling, Arthur, that we need to create, I don't know, next Odoo Insider about the industries, because I see another one here about someone from Congo saying hi within. I would love to know more about the Odoo e-mobility industry, please. Here it's more like a technical talk, sorry, but we can have that next week, and I can have a look. Yes, Arthur.
After OXP
Yes.
and the release of Odoo 19, I think it would be mandatory.
Ah.
Because people will have lots of questions about it.
Yes. Okay.
So see you soon next
I will
year. Anyway, but, yeah, we'll probably do an oriented topic about
But
industries.
don't we have already on the YouTube channel? I'm checking at the same time. I had the feeling that we have a playlist where we
have
already.
specialized videos. We have the.
But it's more like a
Shop.
promotional stuff than
It's kind of
use.
promotional.
Okay.
But we had a bit of video about restaurants,
Yeah.
beer crafting businesses, toy shop.
Okay.
It's by memory because I didn't watch them, but it's colleagues that worked on it.
Okay, I see at the same time we're talking, you don't see my screen. I'm having a look at, there's a playlist called Industries where we have 8 videos, but it's true, it's more like, it stops at 3 or maximum 5 minutes. So it's not a deep dive, but it's showing more like the videos that you have inside. But clearly, I see it more and more, so it would be nice to have it. But there's another one. So e-mobility, I don't know if we have. I need to check that. Does it ring a bell to you?
Mobility.
E-mobility. E-mobility. And I can have a look. And there's another one because e-mobility doesn't ring a bell here. It doesn't look like. No,
Mainly
and
speaking, there's so many industries coming up. If it's not yet.
yes, okay, it could be that. I need to check the list because also a cement industry we don't have. But there are a few things that I was talking with a colleague yesterday that told me, hey, I just pushed to production a client that is somebody selling flowers. What's the name for that?
Flower shop? I don't know.
Flower shop. Because we would say a fleuriste in French, but so somebody selling flowers, and I was like, okay, through an industry, and told me, no, it was completely standard. So sometimes you don't need an industry or an industry module to make it completely okay for lots of businesses. So the misleading part is that sometimes people will focus on the industry name and forget that already in standard we have a lot to offer. It could be that here in one of the industries that Emanuele is showing, we don't see yours, but there are more coming. I don't know if we have the list of the ones that are coming. I will check. We made a roadmap. You were mentioning the partner days a few minutes ago, and during that partner days we had a roadmap thing, but I don't know if we have the list there or if we just mentioned, hey, we'll have 50 more by.
I don't remember, honestly.
I'm checking here. I have the slides on.
I didn't know that we had the industry for Odoo partner.
Yeah,
I guess it's like to manage like a
specific.
service company, I guess.
Yes. Okay. We have, and those were the new ones. But can you check? Do we have already environmental agency, bakery, marketing agencies? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Those ones were new, and I see here 50 plus upcoming. So that is, and we also update the other ones, bringing more. That we have a ton, but okay. And that was coming from beginning of April, so we were planning at that time, so a bit more, like almost 2 months ago, to have 50 more for OXP.
It's interesting that you have like shoemaker services.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Indeed.
guess it's one of the things where you might have like an MRP repair, that kind of things.
I don't know, and
it's interesting.
that's the funny thing because I'm going back on the beverage one. I'm like, okay, I know how it works in real life, that notion of deposits, but
Like
how
the microbrewery or I don't know.
it could be microbrewery would need it, but also even a shop selling alcohol, because there's microbrewery and you have beverage distributor, so it's similar, but it's not exactly the same, even though maybe the microbrewery also distributes other beverages. It depends, but yeah, that's indeed a place where we put a lot of energy at the moment, so that people have already something that is kind of pre-configured. But I keep that in mind. But cement and e-mobility, I don't see it in the list. It's what I would do if I were you is then say, okay, what is particular about this industry so that I know what we could show in standard and see what would be missing to make it an industrial module. For the other ones about the beverage, at least that one we have, and I could prepare a demo for next week. Okay.
Next topic?
Yes, next topic, or just checking with Arthur if we have a few other things, because we had that we answered. Okay. Khaled Ezal Arab is saying, hello, I create from one to many in Studio Module. How can I upload data to the form details? Ah, okay.
So
it depends what you mean, because what I understand is that you create a new one-to-many, but if it's a new one-to-many to a model that was already existing, that is. But are we talking about the populate? That's also first thing, because I don't know if it's about populating that one-to-many through what you've shown.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or if it's just an import of a file. Yeah. If it's the import of a file, 2 weeks ago, we were off here, but we had a pre-recorded session. The first example I'm giving, so have a look at LinkedIn, the other sessions that we have, Odoo Insider. If it's about an import, 2 weeks ago there was one about an import of sale orders and sale order lines, so you would see how to do it here with a CSV file. If you're talking about populate, my guess, based on what you said, but tell me if I'm correct, is that since it's duplicating existing records, if you have records with already one-to-manys,
it should be okay. Yeah, exactly.
It will be the same. Okay, good. So that's what I would say, Khaled, for your question for the one-to-many. Tell us if we understood it well. If not, we can have a second round on your question. Another one from Snowline. Hello from Australia. What time is it over there?
Like it would be like 10.
Yeah, something like this. So I see Arthur is already looking for that. So what time is it in Australia? Okay. Oh no, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. It's 6 p.m. That's all right.
But I guess it's cold now for them.
Yeah, but yes, maybe still hotter than what we have here in Belgium. Yeah. I don't know. So Snowliner is asking, hello from Australia. Hello. How can I change the default start day of the week in planning to Monday instead of Sunday?
Is it maybe something related to the language itself?
Yeah, I have several leads, but
an answer in the chat, and it would be to put Monday in the language.
Okay.
First day of the week.
Yeah. Man, you're good to be a functional consultant, I think. So that is where we have it. So demo by Emanuele. So it is in the language settings.
Yeah, but that means that you will change it for every person that use the language.
Yes.
So maybe, I don't know if there's something in the user itself, but
to say that I would doubt it.
Yeah. No.
But you have the language indeed. But usually the question, I think that the question is related to the language, because I guess it will be like it's for everyone having the same language. Because usually I don't know for you, but I'm always using Monday as a first day because we are.
I'm also surprised that, for example, for the US is Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know the historical reasons, but that's the right place. That's where I would go, and I suppose that we take that factor into account when we show a widget, for example, with different date pickers and things like those ones.
Sunday, Monday.
Okay, yeah, it's Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Then how can we see the actual indexes, see what fields take time in the database, and eventually add new indexes? I would say that what we showed before about Dalibo is the way to go. So you use first the profiler, you run the query that takes time using, so again, this tool, the debug mode, enable profiling. You will find a record in the model named profiling. And from there, you can see the thing that takes most time. Then I would take the query, put it in Dalibo, or try to just read the explain query but that kind of not a human is able to read it, like explain, select start from res partner limit 1. I can try to read it, but doesn't make much sense. Like it doesn't tell me much.
Okay.
Or but if I want to see the structure of the data, and I could do it in two ways. One is looking in the model itself in Odoo. So I could go there, models, settings, technical database structure model, and I can look for res partner. Look for the field, for
yes,
the
we
model,
see
and you see the
indexed.
fields.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. I didn't pay attention to that.
That's one. But also
There are many.
Yeah, there are many.
So can we? Sorry to bother you, but can we go a bit in the list and see properties? Okay, I wonder why are those? Why we have so many?
We can think of commercial partner ID. It makes sense. Is the let's say the main
Company name
exactly.
above.
So it's easy.
Okay.
You look it up. You do it frequently. You might not change it if you are an Odoo employee. Your link to your commercial entity will be Odoo. You don't change it too much, otherwise you will just be a new record, I guess, in the system. You don't change it, so it makes sense to be a indexed value. Company ID, if it's the company ID used for record roles, so to allow you to let's say categorize contacts in different companies. So maybe I see a contact if I'm in San Francisco, I don't see it if I'm in Chicago. It makes sense because it's something that I will perform quite frequently. Credit limit, because it's a expensive operation, you do it every time you need to, maybe you also need to look it up frequently.
The two next ones, I'm curious about
Ignore
the
abnormal invoice amount.
index on a Boolean.
It's common sometimes to really say, to do like a search. For example, the active field is most of the time, I don't know if we have it here.
Yes,
no, it's not,
just not.
it's not
Okay.
indexed, but most of the time the active field is indexed because you really want to do like, when you open a view, most of the time what Odoo will do is like, give me all the record of this model that are active.
Yes.
So you do it all the time. So this is very easy to say, okay, I don't search if they are.
Okay. We use it so much. In fact, every time we open every time we search,
Yeah.
we use it. It's there. We don't ask for it, but it's always there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
There's actually your can archive comp. Whoa.
We made something wrong.
I guess it's like
the extra module.
yeah. Okay, I haven't refreshed this one for a little bit of time. Maybe this will take. Let's go in the products.
Yes, it's going to
Can
be
you
the same.
archive products? I think so, no?
Say again?
Can you
Archive? Yeah, you can.
By default, if you check in the action, in the context, you can say, I think like active test false, something like that. 0. I don't know if I.
Yeah, it looks okay.
And this should give me by default even products that I archive, even though normally you don't have it. Because Odoo by default, it will always remove the archive products. But see, in this case, it shows the acoustic block screen.
Okay.
But if I want to go back to the standard one.
Archive test.
Yes,
that one I didn't know.
Active test. Active
active test, thanks.
And you'd say don't do the active test. By default, if I refresh, it disappears. This is not the one that we had before. I need to look it up, find the archived, and here it is. Otherwise, by default, Odoo will remove it.
Okay.
And then, sorry, there was a small point about the indexes. Then I can look for the model. But if I really want to see the table in the system, I can use PSQL. So that's the client to do some searches on the system. Let me do it like this so that you can see better. And I can scroll down. I see all the fields. This part doesn't tell me anything, but at some point,
it's at the bottom or what?
you see
okay, the B3.
indexes,
Okay.
credit limit.
Okay.
And I see all the type of indexes that we have on the REST pattern. That's the two ways of doing it. The first one will just tell me this field is indexed. This one will tell me how it is indexed, and it's also if it's the table is referenced by other models. For example, account analytic line, so the timesheet will refer to the partner ID, so I have a foreign key. So because in the account analytic line, I will have a partner ID field.
Okay.
That points to the response.
And when you develop a module, there's when you create a new field, you can also mention in the ORM that you are going to create an index.
Exactly.
And then it's just we mention it at the ORM level, and then the magic happens
Exactly. We don't
in the
we don't care
database.
about it anymore.
But usually, when you start writing your module, do you have already a vague idea of the index that you need to use, or it's just like, no, I keep that for later because I don't know, frankly, how people are going to use it?
It's there's some scenarios where you might be able to do it.
Okay.
For example, I had to do recently. I think it was in end of December. An e-commerce search that is not using like the name of the product. It was using vector search. So I don't remember how it is called. Let me look it up. So PostgreSQL VS index, something like that. It's full text search. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
I was doing full text search on PostgreSQL, so I know that we were going to have 100,000, 200,000 products, and we had to look into, it was a company
multiple
that sells
fields,
books,
yes, okay.
selling books, so they have like a description where they might say, in this book the character goes around, blah blah blah, and if you type character, you want to find the book.
Okay,
with
so a synopsis, the introduction, name, authors, and a few things. Okay.
And so we implemented the full text search, basically following the guidelines of PostgreSQL.
Okay.
And we already created the index. Most of the time, maybe you don't, because you don't know.
So that's interesting what you do here, because I have a vague feeling that we did that already, kind of a full text search in knowledge. Okay, but didn't we do that also sometimes for clients, or maybe it's standard, where we say the different fields, but then we mention it in the ORM instead of directly in SQL? Am I correct? Or
and in that case, because you can say, look for example, the term character in the field name, in the field description, in the field whatever. But the full text search is more advanced, because it creates like a vector where all of this information is in a single field, more or less, and the search is almost immediate. Like you could do a search on 200,000 products in like 10 milliseconds.
And it's SQL, so I guess it's faster than...
It's super fast.
Okay.
It was very, very nice.
Okay. Good. I see that Snowliner answered like, okay, thank you, but I don't remember the question.
It was about the starting date of
yeah. Okay.
All good. I want it to be a global change.
All good. I want, because we're talking about the language. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought it was like we want the global change, like climate change, because we also talked about.
It's not something that we can improve on our side. Okay, another one from Aka on LinkedIn. Best to host Odoo on Linux or Windows Server? Oh, that I know.
Best to host Odoo on Linux or Windows Server. I would say we host our own Odoo on Linux, on Ubuntu, and the packages that we choose are based on oh my god, I forgot the name of the OS.
Debian?
Yes, on Debian, exactly. So I would say that if I want to have less problem, I would use a Linux distribution. Better if it's Debian or Ubuntu, because it's just simpler. You can do it, but for example, and I think it's even mentioned, if you look in the documentation, system configuration, if you look for Windows, and I think that here they might say, it is highly customized for Linux server. The multiprocessing server is not available on Windows. So to answer the question, I would say, if you want to develop on your machine using Windows, do that. It's okay. If you want to have less problems, you want to deploy it for your client or for yourself, go with Ubuntu, Linux. It's just easier, and it's made to work with that. Otherwise, you will lose the multiprocessing feature, so you will not be able to answer multiple requests in parallel, and you will have to work only multi-threaded. And in production, it might be
I'm thinking about another point. It is like, I have the feeling from discussing with clients and partners, or even internally, that every documentation item that we have, or the community globally, uses Linux Debian. So errors that you will meet, there will be a forum post about that. People to help you will be more knowledgeable on Debian related environments. So I guess it makes sense that I won't say all align, but if we go all in the same direction, there must be a reason. So I would also
just
say that if you want support, that would be the way or the direction to go to. Okay, maybe a last question before we move on to the next topic. If we have, I don't know if we have. That one,
we did answer that.
Yes.
It's about the question was about the indexes.
Yeah. Regards on YouTube, in sales, how do you set up the product so that you can add or change description? It would print out only the change description and not the product description. I'm not sure about what you ask, but let me reread that. Okay, but it's already working like that. Like you have a description there, it takes the one that you changed and not the product description. It's already like this. Like if you have a description on the product in the sales description field, it will load it by default. But if you change it, that's what we are going to print. So yeah, thanks for the example. I told you are a functional consultant now. It looks like a downgrade.
Let's see. Okay, that's WKHTML to PDF that it doesn't work well.
We can try on a demo, but I can tell you that already. Odoo does take the description that you have. In fact, we use the field on the product to load a default value, and if you change that value, that's the one that we are going to print. Unless you made a development to keep that someone didn't want you to do that, and then you keep always the sales description. But
if I take the bacon burger,
and then that is it. Yeah, there we have the 200 grams Irish black Angus beef, and if you change it, yes, that is a good test. Well, that's how I understood the question, but I don't know if that is exactly what the person was asking for, but that is what I was thinking. Yes, and then you have the test. Yeah. Okay, I see another one quickly. Aniket is on LinkedIn asking, when I create a sale order in Odoo, if a customer pays me in advance, is there a feature where I should enter it? Or can I add the payment without creating an invoice? You can already add the payment different ways. If it's by card, you go in the bank statement, or you have the synchronization and you received already from the bank synchronization the payment in the accounting. It would be more like in the accounting application there. You would see in the bank, you would see a transaction if you are connected with your bank. If not, you could create it here, or otherwise you go under customer payments, and that's maybe where you wanted to go first. You create a new payment manually, but that is a bit too much. Usually, I would say first go on the transaction. Now, I guess that what you want to know is also have a link with the sale order, but that I don't think we have a direct link of the payment record with the sale order. So potentially you wouldn't see it.
Is it maybe something like that happens in the e-commerce when you?
If it's in e-commerce, you see the transaction, but it's true.
It's different.
It's a bit different because it depends how you pay. If you pay with a wire transfer, it will be what I was explaining, because wire transfer means I leave the sale order not on hold but sent, and I will pay it later, and you receive a number that you need to communicate, a communication information that you are going to use in your wire transfer. And the sale order will be validated later when we receive the wire transfer. Usually that's how people work, but nowadays lots of people don't use wire transfer to pay later on the web. They use credit cards, they use debit cards, they use whatever payment provider is available. In which case we confirm the sale order and we create a transaction in Odoo, and it's visible directly from the sale order. But very often there we are going to, I'm not sure about that, we are going to generate the invoice, but I'm not sure. We need to test it. But anyway, your case is working. Like it's one of the cases where you have the payment first, but there you will see a transaction item on the sale order. If it's totally backend related, what I was explaining was correct.
Question from our friend Snowlina, again from Australia, I think.
Yeah.
How do I also add the label for day as well as date? I don't get it, I'm sorry.
No, so can you re-explain that, because you want to add the label for day? Is it the day, day name?
Like the full day of the week?
Yes, that it looks like that, as well as date.
We can try to maybe put.
So if it's also a language related question, Snowliner, you can have different ways of showing the dates. Yeah, here you see Thursday there, but it changes all the date fields, not just one. Although, let's imagine we want to have something where we have a date like this one, a bit more official, Thursday the 2nd of April, blah, blah. I think that if it's something that we need to print on PDF, can we, for one occurrence, change the format of the date in some places?
You can. Okay. You can specify
in the QWeb.
Exactly. Okay. Say output it as, and you can decide the format using the similar.
It's also date format something okay. So I don't know if your question, Snowliner, is to change it globally or if it's just like for one date in particular. Globally, it's here. One date in particular, it would mean let's have a look at the PDF that you try to output or the field, and we change the format a bit. There's a bit of Python involved.
Oh, that's the next question is interesting because it will tie with the new topic.
So okay. Transition-wise, thanks a lot, Stefan.
Yes.
Can you give a demonstration of front-end template debugging, maybe using Owl DevTools?
Yes.
Okay, it was the second topic of.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, we can go.
We can go.
I let you introduce it. That's perfect.
It's very interesting. Like I don't know. Maybe this is like a colleague of mine that know that I had to talk about it. I don't know.
No. Stefan is there. Is there very often? Okay. Yeah, functional technical questions. So maybe if it's a colleague, he's hiding it well. But he's asking. Maybe he has been listening very carefully to us because we mentioned it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
So that's maybe why.
Good. So actually, we had two examples, extra examples. I hope we have the time to show them. But for Owl, let's say good news. We published. Oops, I closed it. We published a technical training, Introduction to Owl, which is a training that is whose content is available for free. You can check it. You can check the use case. You can check not the use case, but the videos. And it's a training done by Armin. That was the person that was with me, and where he explains how to use Owl and how to do examples. I don't know how in details he goes about the debugging and stuff.
Okay.
But this is a training that you can use to start investigating. And then for your specific question, I think that the next topic will be interesting because we will check it out.
I have it says Introduction to Owl. So if you know JavaScript and you don't know anything about Owl, I know it's a strange question because it always depends as well. But how easy do you think it is to enter inside Owl? If you have basic or good knowledge on JavaScript, and do you need to know a lot about Odoo?
You might need to know a little bit about Odoo. For sure. Even though there is some stuff. If I go in the Owl playground.
There's a place where it's completely disconnected from Odoo,
exactly.
So you can. That's
exactly.
it.
Like for example, here you can see. You can test the
Owl playground. Okay.
So here I can put some things that I want. I'm sorry, I'm really unable to see what I'm writing. So test. I run it, and you see my changes, and then I can play around. This is not complex to do because you see it. I'm changing the HTML, actually the XML in this case. I can change whatever I want, and I see a result. But to be able to understand what happens behind the scenes, you need to have some knowledge about Odoo.
Models, fields, how to communicate. Okay.
Exactly.
The views, notions. Okay.
But we have this video course that you can start taking. It's pretty interesting. It's part of the series that we've been working on for the last 2 years about the different technical trainings done with videos. The first one was done by Florian, old colleague of ours.
Yes.
And this is the new one with Owl done by Armin. There will be new coming. There was also a LinkedIn post by Lisa Bradley where she asked for feedbacks. Sorry, it was Sarah Wagon that asked for the feedbacks and the different topics that you would like us to explore in the future. I don't know if it's still available, the question, but if you want to answer that and get like put your opinion in the poll, it would be good.
Ah, cool, excellent. So it was a poll, Odoo survey or something like this?
No, it was on LinkedIn.
Okay.
In LinkedIn poll.
I want to check it now.
It might be closed now because it was a little...
like a few weeks ago or
yes,
a few days ago?
A few weeks ago.
Okay.
And yeah, but then...
Okay, Arthur is telling us don't hesitate to promote the replay link because it's the one with all the yeah. Usually I start with that. It's true. As you know, guys, quick one. There's a link, an Excel sheet. Excel show it, but I don't know the name by heart. I think it's. Oh wait. I'm going to give it to
you are editor of the file now.
I see that.
Odoo
Can you
replay.
show this, like this link? So it's like odoo.com, like R then TKE. Yes, that's the one. So that is the place where you can see the previous sessions that we had together. And I was looking for something else when we were mentioning, and I already lost it. Yeah, I was looking for the poll just to see if it's still there. So I'm going to have a look at yes, Sarah's profile.
And Antoine, know that you have the power to edit. We have
yes, that is true.
so
I can.
useful links. If you
that is better.
yeah, for the implementation methodology, if there's an update, you can put the link. There maybe.
Oh yes.
If you have also other nice links, don't hesitate to put it because I'm not able to retrieve them all the time.
Okay, but that was one at the end of the year, I think, also. Okay, I can find those kind of things. Perfect.
So we have
And we'll put
everyone.
also the link to your tech stuff.
Good.
And repository. Okay, we can move back
We can move on.
to Owl.
So
Sorry.
we have a couple of examples. Well, let's see if we can do at least one. So the first example is it's a kind of a first introduction on how to use Owl and JavaScript to perform actions instead of using Python. Because what I was asked to do once was to be able to download the pictures of employees, of contacts basically, in SAS. And so it was a small customization to do, but unfortunately this is not like super easy to do on SAS. You have to play around. You don't have access to all the features that you have on Odoo SH, where you can put your custom code and you can write your Python code and you can do whatever you want. You cannot do it on SAS, so we had to get creative. And what we did is this thing. You see that there's under the actions there's a download pictures, and it might take a while, but this action is downloading. Wait, let me move it there. Is downloading the pictures of the employees through JavaScript, and I will show you quickly how to set it up. I think it's interesting, and it can obviously be expanded to do much more than this. Like you can really do lots of stuff with this type of feature. I will show you the structure. I will go maybe quickly because if there's other question, maybe they will be more interesting. But it's really related to how Owl works and what we need to, how we need to set it up. So we have this manifest. This is a small module manifest where we have the assets. In the assets, we are adding two files, like the library that takes care of zipping the pictures, and another one that is taking care of performing the action that Odoo is asking to do. So let's go first in the server action. Server action is, as we saw it multiple times, I think in previous Odoo Insider sessions, you have products. server actions are all the items that appear under the action cogwheel. In this case, actually, these are all standard. We don't have a custom one. But if we go in the quotation, we might have one. So if I click on here, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are server actions. And so these are actions that will be performed by the server when you click on it. So if I go there, action, cancel, the action will be performed by the server, or I can also decide to do something else. In this case, I'm creating a server action on the REST partner model where I'm just returning another action. I know it's like it's mind bending, is like why would you do that? It's just that that's how you have to do it. And you return a client action. Client actions are all the actions performed by the front end and not by the back end, by the server. And you can trigger custom actions. So you can create your own that will be performed by Odoo. And how do you do that? You see that you have the tag here, and it's something that you can find very frequently in the code. If I look for IR actions client, you see this is the example of our friend on how to send notifications. I think we can also go in his.
I didn't know that we had something like this to the tags, and I didn't pay attention. I've seen like code of, like on the actions several times, and I never paid attention to the tag.
Yeah,
what does it do? Oh, it's used for what?
Let's see if I can. A button with confirmation. Yeah, okay, test. So if I click on it, so I'm showing the example written by
our friend that we talked about, the cheat.
So in this case, what is performing is a client action that will display notification. Display notification. So we saw it.
This one, the sticky one. Okay.
So basically, the request goes from the web client to the server, and the server will tell to the web client perform this action.
Okay.
So the web client has a registry where all these actions are stored. So when it will receive the request of performing the action, it will look into the registry, it will look it up and say, what is the action that I should do if I receive the display notification?
Okay. Is it that it was meant, or we created in such a way so that we can do things in the interface quickly without knowing JavaScript language, so that people can display notifications all the time based on something they want to return? Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly the type.
I've never used it. That's fun. Cool.
For example, there is also some server
soft
actions
reload,
that refresh the page. You have plenty of different actions.
All right.
And you can always find them through the tag, like each of them are identified by a tag. Most of them are display notification. So display notification is the one on the top right. Then you might have things like, what is PEPL? So this is a tag that was created by accounting. And you can see what's going on.
Okay.
There's a notification, or there's something that goes on. Thing is that with the client, you can client action, you can tell to the Odoo interface to display a owl component.
Okay.
So that's, for example, that's what happens when you go in the point of sale. When you open the register, it will if I check the open UI. Open UI.
I think I was mistaken because I was thinking about window action and not client action.
But they are more or less because a window action, we could maybe see it as a specific version of a client action, because the window action is open a window.
Yes, okay,
got it. This is more...
okay, so it's as if it were at a specific tag that says open a window and lead me to another kind of record or something like this. Okay.
Exactly.
Good, that's maybe why.
Let's see here.
I'm confused.
Action to open UI. Actually, this is a different type of action. This will open a URL, because actually
yes, okay. It's a URL on its own. We load a URL and then we load the
barcode.
Okay.
The barcode will do that. So
okay, yeah.
I now need to look it up, because if I'm here, I don't have the. But I can look it up. Client actions, I think. Barcode. So I have the external ID.
Okay.
Actually, I already
Oh
have the
yes.
tag.
Okay. It has
I
its
can,
a tag on its own. So I
yeah.
guess it's.
So if I go there and I look it up, this one, this is the tag that is used. So this one
Okay.
is saying when you click on it, perform this operation. It might take a while to find exactly where.
You have lots of tour
Yeah, let me
things.
remove them.
Okay.
And see, we have the category of action where this action is added, and in this case they are just adding the main menu of the barcode app. What we so the actions, client actions, can be used to perform almost everything that we want. And in my case, what I'm doing is, let's go back, export images, server action download contact. I will have somewhere in my code action registry add, so I'm adding to the registry, so let's say a folder, a list of actions that exist in the system, my action, which is called action download pictures. And in there, I am doing some, let's say, technical operations. I can just do one. I can just change it and do, for example, this one. I will just display an error. And let's see if it works. To refresh. Contact. I could have chosen a different one, but let's see. Download picture. I should have a pop-up that says error also. No? Because maybe I was not loading it. Let me use the load with assets so that we can get the changes in real time. So let's see. I will also maybe remove the things that I don't care about. I think I'm removing too many things. Oh, wait, let me remove this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Let's just keep this one. So we kind of go back to a simpler example where we're just displaying a dialog that says error. Let's see if it works. So download pictures, and you see that so basically the Odoo will look for this tag in the registry. It will find that it exists and it's connected to a function that I created, and then it will just read it and perform it as a normal JavaScript or as if it was a Python function. So there I'm displaying an error message. In my example, I was downloading pictures.
Good. I see that we have. Did we answer the question that was from Stefan, because he mentioned something about?
And then the how to use the debugger. If you have a custom component, and but you can use it for everything. You can use the Owl debugger, which is a debugger that is available in the App Store. I don't remember how you download it, but you can find it, I think, on the Chrome, or Chrome, or in the Owl repository. There's a link to it, and in there you can find all the info, like you can find all the things that are passed as props, so things that the parent component passes to me, and like you can use it to investigate. This is a form view, so it's quite complex, but I can see you can see all the things, like, okay, this is what type of field is it? Its name is company type. What type of field is a char? Selection.
And props for the noob again. Props is what, like the list of all the characteristics of JavaScript class or object, or
props are, I think I don't remember which framework invented this kind of concept, but props are because Owl is a component-based framework, and props are items that your parent component passes to you. So you can, for example, let's say that you are a form view. So you're a form view, which is a component that will have child components that are the fields. And so you might pass to the fields the information saying, okay, you are a field that will be a char field. So you have to
Okay.
these are the props and some other information.
It always goes in that direction, like you give from top to bottom?
Exactly. The communication for props is top to bottom. Then you have other system for which by
to go to the parent?
Exactly.
Or,
the field might say, okay, parent, please do something because I got changed, for example.
Okay, yes. All right. And that parent thing is always the same name, or?
No, it's different because you can create.
I'm not going to bother you more on that because
it's very complex. There's lots of things, but
I think I don't know enough to have meaningful questions.
Maybe I don't know enough to give meaningful answers.
And so, props thing for Stefan, we insert.
I hope. If not, we can.
Okay, because it was also just up, Arthur, if we go in the list. So, okay, I would see props because it looks like a mythical creatures that nobody can see during the rendering of the template, and I would like to see what is actually in it. But yes,
I would say if you follow the training, it will be very
way clearer, or
it should be explicit. And also you have some trainings. Let me go back there, where if you go in Odoo Owl components, here you have a pretty good explanation of what's a component, what are the props, and then I think if you go in the I don't remember where it is, tutorials, web framework, there you have examples on how to do stuff, and there they explain how do you pass props and so on and so forth. It's pretty useful, but basically if you look in look for the term props in JavaScript files, or actually in even in no, let me find something else. I can find a component, and I think we did one in some time ago. Import component. Oh, again, our
okay.
Maybe he also created something else. Maybe let's see if there's something easy to see. Maybe this one. But yeah, okay. So this is the structure of a component that calls different other components. So every item that you see there is another component, the one that are in green in my screen. And what you see in like name equal HACC, that's a prop that is passed from the parent to the H accordion component.
Okay, so how do you know it's a prop? Because it's inside the name?
Exactly.
It's always that? Okay.
Passed like that.
Okay.
This is prop.
And the component name needs to be the name of the tag? That's also what you mean? Okay, good.
Exactly. So props are just items passed from parent to child. That could be useful for display, could be useful for the child to know how it should be behaved, because the child might not know how it is instantiated by the parent. So yeah. So for example, in this case, this person created like the accordion that we saw before, and he gave a name to the accordion. So I guess, and I might be wrong, but if I go in here, QWeb, or maybe it was in custom, maybe. I don't remember which one was the QWeb, maybe this one. I guess that here somehow you will find some information. Also, a good example, we can use how to investigate this one.
Okay, on code that was not even written by Odoo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's, you see, HACC.
Okay.
Which is the item.
Yes, remember.
And you can find all the information. And if we look it up, we can find the props passed from the parent to the child, the states, all the information that are used by the component to display things.
Okay, good. Next question from Vadim Skafari. How do I get rid of this log message? Translated, stored, related field, name of the field will not be computed correctly in all languages.
I would have to.
You had that once?
No, never happened to me. Let's see if we can find it. Appointment type.
We had someone in the chat answering on YouTube.
Okay.
It's a warning.
But if it's so, generally it shouldn't happen if it would not be computed correctly in normal ways. I would like to see the field definition to be able to understand exactly what is the scenario, because it never happened to me, but probably the person on YouTube answered properly.
Yeah, and that's cool, by the way, to have people helping each other. I already said it in the past. It shows that lots of people that are knowledgeable are helping the others. So thanks a lot, Dong and Nguyen.
You can maybe read the answer. It is a warning from Odoo framework.
Yeah, you didn't see the answer.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Okay, that's go.
Yeah.
So we have someone on YouTube that answered the question of Vadim, saying that it's a warning from Odoo framework when you when you have a related store field with translate equals true. Simply you need to remove the translate true, and it would be okay.
Okay.
Do you want to spend more time on this one to explain why it happens, or do you think the answer is already clear?
I think it should be okay, but we can, like maybe
show it on screen.
Yeah, we can try to do it in the product brand. I think it's the easy one to do, like some type of product brand. Some water, please. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Can I bother you with a coffee?
Of course.
Thanks a lot. You're so nice.
So let's see. I don't remember how we have one. Let's see. Let's create a field in the product brand, and let's call it. We already have the name. So let's put the. Let's see if you can get the same scenario. Product template, and.
So you're going to create a related field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brand ID dot name.
Okay.
Store equal true. So I guess if I run it, we should get the same warning that I don't remember Vadim was getting. Let's see.
Pay attention that I'm thinking about that. Sometimes when I receive a question like that, technical or functional, I'm always like, what if it's not the same version that we change also?
I'm doing the test in 18.
Yeah.
Might be completely different in if you have in 14, 16,
yes.
It will be completely different.
So don't forget, if you are in contact with our support or even with us during the show here, it's sometimes useful to give us complementary information like the version that you are using if you're on the SaaS, if you made some extra development. Obviously here it's a tech talk, so I guess it's mostly discussing about things that people do in addition to Odoo, so non-standard environment, but don't hesitate to tell us that. I was thinking about that because sometimes you look for something in one version and then you realize, okay, maybe the guy is not in the same version as we are testing.
So first of all, let's see how it behaved. Okay, we need to maybe link. Products. And okay, we have one product. Let's link it to.
Do you think it's the one? No.
Let's see. Where is the brand? Let's connect it to Ferrari. What's going on? This is related to operator does not exist. Interesting. Interesting might be. Let me put translate equal true to see that is explicitly translatable. I like to wrong. Let's see how it behaves. But yeah, you see, this is a type of error that is really related to
language
translation because the languages in version 16 got changed into JSON. Thank you, Arthur.
Thanks a lot. I will try not to put it on your computer. Okay. Thanks, Arthur.
So, let's see if we get the same warning now. No, okay. I guess this is like maybe a Odoo misbehaving here. If I remove the store, it should work because, well, it will work because I'm just reading the field. But first of all, the name of the you see here.
Yes, okay.
The brand name is saved as language and then the value for that language. So if I would, I don't know, maybe the name of a brand is not easily translatable, but
okay. So
and I guess Odoo is misbehaving when it's stored, maybe doesn't understand.
so it gets a result that it cannot interpret, or it is more like there's no data that is meaningful to it?
I guess that it doesn't know how to behave when the field is translated and stored. Maybe it cannot maybe even update if I update it correctly from the other side.
Okay, because it's a translatable JSON field.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but
okay.
Most of the time, in any case, for related fields of this type, you can just put related that is not stored, and you're okay because you're just getting the value from the other model.
All right. Thanks again for answering the question also on Twitch or YouTube. We have another one from Mario. Can I now use webhooks to write prices to a cash register so that all prices can be managed from Odoo? That's a good question. So using webhooks, did you make a demo of that previously?
Think so.
I have.
I think so.
I remember. So
one of the
it is like we contact back Odoo at a specific address.
Yes.
And Odoo is going to do something for you, interpreting data that you send. So writing stuff inside Odoo, yes. Cache register, it depends, because to me it's like is it a cache journal on which you are going to create new lines, or is it something that is different? Because then you talk about cache register, but you mentioned prices, and is it that you want to update the price list that you are going to open in the POS? I don't know if that's exactly that you want to do. Cache register, to me, it's maybe you're talking about the physical one that you have in a shop, and that if you use the POS, you'd like to update the prices from somewhere else, and that you are going to load those price lists inside the POS later. And yes, the prices can be updated from the outside, but of course, if you update something in your backend and then you already had the post launched, maybe you need to reload it, because I think the price lists are updated at the moment where we load the POS. So that's also something that you can take care of. We can have a look, if I understand well your demand, because then it would be receiving a payload that explains how to create new price list items that you attach to a price list.
I don't know where the cache register is, if it's outside of Odoo, not or the cache register. I don't know exactly.
So it depends what you mean by cache register. It could be the physical stuff that is attached to an account journal, where you say every time that you remove something for giving a change or collecting money or putting money out because you need to buy a sandwich or whatever. The reality of that, accounting-wise, is a journal. So, but then it's not related to prices. So that's why I'm like, okay, if you talk prices, I guess you are in a POS environment, and that's what you want to know, Mario. But tell us if we understood correct what you wanted to accomplish. It's a POS environment. You get the prices from the outside of Odoo. You'd like Odoo to be updated so that when you launch the POS, you have the right prices. Tell us if it's that. And if it is, yes, it's possible. Then we have Snowliner that is asking us, in the planning application, can I add day in the headers of the planning app across the top in Gantt views? So I was bothering you yesterday about planning app, but that's a place. The problem with that planning application is that I guess we don't have many views that use on which we can work and get experience on, because it's very typical of the planning application, I think.
Also they are the code itself is a little bit complex to understand. We can check that with a little bit for the planning module to be installed, but we can try to understand where is the code and what, let's say, like a small intuitions that we can have to find what to change, what not to change.
Okay.
We can try to understand. And the Kanban views.
It's a Kanban? It's a Gantt? Or okay.
The Gantt view are very, very complex to change. I did it for a client in version 15. it was very difficult to be able to get what we want.
So I guess that here it would be saying like not 0304, but add the day in the headers. Yes, so it would
Like it
be
is Monday, Tuesday.
Yes, that is it, I guess.
We can try to understand. So first of all, again,
Inspection.
That's my first
Yes.
guess, because I need to find I don't know exactly where we are. I need to find let's say some stable point to start my search. So I just put my you see here. It's actually not that useful because it's just a big component, and it's called planning and render. And then we can try to see. We scroll down. At some point, we will be able to maybe find.
Okay. Could it be that it is lower in the stack even though it's higher in the screen?
Very likely.
Okay.
Very likely that they don't follow the. So it's not here. Could be lower. Could see now it starts again. Again, no. Okay.
But it must be somewhere.
Yeah. So another thing would be, instead of using the owl viewer, I would use this one.
Okay.
I will use the normal tool to point to an HTML element and look it up. And I find something that seems pretty useful.
Gantt header cell.
Exactly. So we can start our search there. And okay, we see something. Gantt renderer might be this one. Category position. Call header formatter. Okay. I don't know if we will get something.
Okay, colon header. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the name looks like.
Exactly.
Date to format.
These are static, weak. Okay, so I see.
You have a lead.
Different scales. Oh, this will be. It's very similar to something that I had to do in the past. So it will be very difficult to investigate. But let's see. To date to format. Let's look it up. JavaScript to format. Date. So what I'm doing is looking up the different type of formats that we can specify in there. String format, day, and let's say that we want to put the day of the week. Maybe we don't have it, Maybe we need to, we can try, because what we will get is a date to format. Let's see if I can just say, this is first a test. So if I change this one and I put like a constant value, will I get test repeated multiple times?
Just quick question on my side.
Wait, I think I broke it. It should be this one.
I just wanted to know also, when does it are the JavaScript files refreshed? Like, are you in a specific mode so that every time you reload your page,
yes.
Okay, it's with the asset? Or
yes. You have to be in debug, and you have the debug with assets.
Okay.
And that's a way to be able to refresh it every time. But this can also be something else, because it's not easy to identify where we are and how to do it.
Okay.
So it was not this formatter. It would be,
As you, on the left side, you have different places. Is it that you see you are in one place that is a specific view format, like monthly, weekly, daily?
Yeah. I think it was changed some time ago, and before it was, you have different way of displaying it. So I guess this could also play not in our favor to identify the issue, because we can try. So for example, date to format, and here I can say, okay, you know what, I will comment this one out and put test. At some point we will be able to find where the code is, where the values are set. Probably could be also there. Test 3. I don't know. I'm trying because it's not easy to I also made a mistake. It should be a comma, not a. I did it before. Yes, it should be a comma, and that one was a comma, so that was good. So this one will be test for comma.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we should be able to get
See
one of the tests.
any of the of you on any of the views.
And actually, no.
Not.
Doesn't want-
Is it?
This
Do you
is-
want to check any of the other ones with zooming and zooming, or?
You know also what might be can't render. No, it should be this one. Should be okay, but yeah, I forgot to also do it in the
Mhm,
1
okay.
year where you have the scale based on weeks. So I will do test 5, comma. Test 6, comma. Might not be the most exciting thing you've ever seen in your life now, but bear with me. Test 7, comma. And now we should maybe be able to get it. We
At
got an
least,
error.
yes, it's some improvement.
Exactly. Why call-header formatter is not a function? That's good because we broke it. We broke one probably. Which one? This one.
Why?
Because
okay.
because this is I just return a value, but what JavaScript expects is a function.
Okay.
So an anonymous function created like this.
Okay.
So that means that this was the one called the test 5.
Okay.
So
Good.
we have the test 5, and then I can. So I know that I receive at some point a date, and what I could do is put a debugger. I will
Okay.
put a comma. I will put this one, and then I will put debugger.
Okay.
Debugger. Okay. Let's refresh. And in inspect mode, when I refresh, I will at some point see the breakpoint activated, and it should. I need to go in the Gantt view. Voila.
Okay.
So now we are in debug. I can see what is the date that is being sent. It's you see 2025 is
Okay, you don't have the
6,
day of the.
yeah, you have it here, but and then I would need to transform it somehow in a
In the day
exactly
information.
maybe in that's something that I would need to look it up in JavaScript, like how can I get let's see
From a day of the year.
yeah, I can
Okay.
because I can do the simple example, and that's to let's say do the return data format. Okay, so this is I can remove my debugger. This before we only had the DD part. Now we
Yeah.
have
The year
something
with
else.
it.
we get
the-
something more.
Yes, it was. No, what did you put? It was M or why is
I
it?
put MMM.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what will be displayed here, but we should get something else. 4th
Okay.
of June instead of only having the
Okay.
6th. And if I look it up here, maybe because it was MMMM, no, it was not the format. Date string format. MMMM. Day of the month. No, it's a lot of looking for the item somewhere down here.
So is it correct to assume that maybe we use a library that wouldn't have that feature, or
No,
it's not?
this should be the completely standard JavaScript.
Okay.
So yeah, so not that one. So not an issue. Just let's say skill issues from my side to look it up and
Okay.
try to find how you how to
Or to find the
exactly
okay.
the value. But
So
this
you would say it would be possible by investigating a bit more on the
Exactly, you
two
need to-
format.
you need to basically, but it's not easy. You need to get there's a constant value that you see here, which is called scales. You will need to change the, so you will need to create a module that gets the scales, overrides them,
Uh-huh.
and replace the value for the call header formatter. So this is a formatter for the header, and put what you want to display. So in this case, it was displaying the day of the month.
Yes.
But maybe we want to display the day and day of the week and day of the month together. So for example, let's see if there was something else. No, well, there's no, that's it.
Okay, but it's already quite good.
Yes.
To know
you can see
when
here.
you need to go.
Yeah, takes a little bit of while. How to print journal entry?
Usually you have different types of journal entries. The invoices themselves, you can find it in accounting, then you go on the invoice, or there are customer invoices. You select any and you can print, but it will be printed in a invoice format, and depending if it's a sales invoice or a purchase invoice or other type of journal entries, the layout may change a little bit, but I'm not sure we have something to print directly regular journal entries. We can check. You can cancel this one. I'm just want to have a look at accounting top. Yeah, this one, journal entries. I don't know if we have printable format for if we select any on the. Yeah, you can say, yeah, perfect. You select one or two, or this one, yeah, go, and we check if we have something to print. Yeah, no report available. So you need to create one, but I don't see the point of having it printed on paper, because usually that's more like kind of structured information that you want in an Excel maybe, but on paper I don't see completely the point. But that's possible. Otherwise, you create a new report with Studio or completely from scratch. Which, by the way, I think it was maybe one of the topics that we could address as well, like how to create reports.
Yes.
But that will be for another time, because I see we just
running
ended. Yes, on a question. I think it's a good time to stop for today.
Okay.
When are you coming back?
Whenever you want.
So I just have to invite you and you come?
Exactly.
Excellent. We'll organize that sooner than like those 6 months. All right.
Yes.
Perfect, guys. Thanks a lot for watching us. I hope you learned a lot. We'll put the chapters and a bit of information on the LinkedIn, and anyway, you can review it, rewatch it later. Thanks again, Emanuele.
Thanks for inviting me, Antoine.
Bye-bye.
Bye.